All right, so now we're on to section number 3, where you're going to learn how to use your viral photo post template to create content that your customers will love. So if you've ever been to a Facebook page and you see, hardly any likes on it, you see very little content, you can see that, or the content that they post, every single post is an advertisement. Buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Those pages get very, very little action. Almost nobody clicks like on those pages. Almost nobody clicks like on the post. Almost all the posts have 0 likes on them, or the person who posted it has 1 like and it's their like. So in order for you to attract customers to you, you need to put in content that your customers like. So in this section, I'm going to teach you how to not post content that they like, but how to post content that they love and they will love to share. And so there's a very simple formula of how to post content that they like, and I call this the viral post formula. And it's this: by using an emotionally charged photo plus a positive quote from a famous person, you can get you can get 10 times to 100 times the number of likes, comments, and shares. And in that process, you can get customers to discover you, okay? So we take a post where, and I do see this plenty, where somebody says, hey, free webinar, learn how to do what you love and love what you do right now. Click here to how to find your fastest path to cash doing what you love. And here's the link, trackcustomersnow.com/live class. And guess what? No likes, no comments, no shares. Nobody clicks on it, nobody registers. Now let's take that exact same post and we're going to add an image to it. We're going to add a beautiful image with a quote from a famous person. And a quote and a second quote at the top. So, I love you more than there are stars in the sky and fish in the sea, Nicholas Sparks. And now, free webinar, learn how to do what you love and love what you do right now. Okay. And so this one got 115 likes, 3 comments, 33 shares, 8,700 people saw the post. Oh, and we spent no money on the post. We did not boost it. That was all viral. Okay. So how does that work? Well, finding the right photos on your post can get you 10 times to 100 times. So let me give you an example. Times the number of likes. So we have one of the largest yoga Facebook pages in the world, 1.3 million likes. We posted these two, or we shared these 2 photos on our wall. We shared this image of Jennifer Aniston, and it only got 11 likes, 0 comments, and 0 shares. Poor Jennifer. Now she's doing yoga, and you'd think on a yoga page, this famous person doing yoga would get lots and lots of likes. Now this photo on the right, these people aren't even doing yoga, they're doing acrobatics at Burning Man. But when we shared that one on our wall, it got 3,424 likes, 127 comments, 544 shares. So why did the photo on the right get so many more likes, comments, and shares than the photo on the left? Well, the honest answer is I really have no idea. What I do know is that when we share posts and photos on our wall, we share lots of them, and the ones that get the most likes, comments, and shares are the viral ones, and those are the ones that if you use in your posts, they're likely to be more viral when you use them again. Okay, so how does this all work? This got me really thinking on why do some photos get lots of likes, comments, and shares and not others. And I ran across a really interesting study by a professor of marketing at the Wharton School of Business. Her name is Kathleen Milkman. Dr. Milkman studied over 7,000 New York Times posts, and she discovered something very interesting about the posts that went most viral. She found that the posts that went most viral all had a very high emotional charge. So take this post, for example. This image on the top is an image of this man with his dog in the lake. And initially, it might not look like it's super viral until you hear the story that's associated with the photo. The man's named John. His dog is Shep. He's a 14-year-old German Shepherd. Suffering from severe arthritis on his last days, John would take Shep on a short walk every day to keep his health up, and at the end of their short walk, he would take him into Lake Superior, and Shep would fall asleep peacefully in his arms. That post, we saw it went viral. It had gotten over 300,000 likes, and we shared it on our wall. And when we shared it, it got an additional 4,276 likes. This photo on the bottom, now we posted these 2 photos on our yoga page with 1.3 million yoga likes. This photo on the bottom is a beautiful photo, beautiful outdoor setting, a model doing yoga, in the outdoors. You'd think, logically, that photo on the bottom should have gotten tons of likes, comments, shares, but it did not. It only got 124. So Professor Milkman discovered that every single photo that went viral had a very high emotional charge. But she also discovered that the posts that went most viral from studying 7,000 New York Times posts all had a very positive valence. Well, what's valence? Well, if you look up valence on Wikipedia, valence is how positively or negatively emotionally charged your content is. So the photo on the left has a very negative emotional context. This fist holding a hot rock connotes anger. The one on the right is one of my favorite posts on Facebook. This kid making his camel crack up. It's a very positive emotion. We posted these two photos on the same page at the same time, and one on the right got 4,485 likes. So what Professor Milkman discovered, she coined this term called the integral effect. The integral effect. And the integral effect is your most viral content. So the integral effect is the correlation between how highly emotionally charged and how positive and how positively emotionally charged your content is correlated to how viral it goes. So the most viral content lives in this upper right-hand quadrant. So if you're ever wondering what do you post on Facebook, you want to post positive content that has both a high emotional charge and a very positive emotion. So write this down. Here's your most viral content formula. It's a photo with a high emotional charge plus a positive emotion or valence. Okay? So it's a photo with a high and positive emotional charge. Now, it can also be a video, it can be in other formats as well. But it's usually an image or a video with high and positive emotional content. Now, after studying my own, I've been studying posts on Facebook for going on 9 years now. I discovered something really interesting. I started noticing the posts that got over 100,000 likes. I call those super viral content. Super viral content. And I discovered that there's a formula that goes along that creates the super viral content. Whenever you see a post that has over 100,000 likes, and this will be the same on Twitter. I mean, it could be tweets, it could be shares, it could be likes, whatever. You'll see that they typically follow this exact formula, and that is photos with stories of selfless acts of love, kindness, heroism, or even generosity. Okay? So now this led me to ask an interesting question. Why do people share this kind of content? And the answer is very interesting. That is, sharing content is intended as a representation of oneself, okay? And we want to be perceived as positive, generous, kind, benevolent, funny, fun to be around, okay? And interestingly, to share is human. And the reason why it is because being perceived as this kind of person, people are attempting to move up in social status. And now we may think that basically people want to be popular, but there's actually a fundamental evolutionary reason for wanting to move up in social status. And that is moving up in social status is actually a survival mechanism. Okay, it's a survival mechanism. Let's roll the evolutionary clock back 10,000 years ago. Imagine if you were, when we're budding Homo sapiens and you're in a hunter-gatherer tribe and you're at the top of social status. Maybe you're a shaman, maybe you're a high priestess, maybe you're the tribal leader, you're somebody important. You're going to have the best chance at finding food, water, shelter, a mate, reproducing, and passing along your genes. What if you're on the low end of social status? Or worst of all, what if you get kicked out of the tribe 10,000 years ago? What are your chances of survival by yourself 10,000 years ago? What are your chances of finding a mate and reproducing and passing along your genes successfully alone 10,000 years ago? So what's happened is through evolution is we've evolved to want to move up in social status actually as a survival mechanism. So it is inherent in our own biology that we want to move up, and we move up today by being perceived as this kind of person. And this is how it manifests itself. So please write this down. This is really important. People share content that represents the way they want to be perceived. Okay, people share content that represents the way they want to be perceived. Now remember, the subconscious reason why is because it's actually a survival mechanism. We're doing it to try and move up in social status, but we don't even know that that's the reason why we're doing it. It is, we just don't know it. It's subconscious, okay? People share content that represents the way they want to be perceived, but it doesn't stop there. People will share stories that represent. People will share ideas. People will share your products. People will share your services. People will refer you if it helps them move up in social status. So the world's greatest marketing is to have a shareable product or service. The world's greatest marketing that you can do is to provide the most value to you and your customers so that they want to refer you to other people. If they can refer you to someone else, and in doing so they move up in social status, you will have the hottest business on the planet. Now, how do you take this information and use it practically? Well, what I've discovered is that when you do a post on Facebook, if you add a quote from a positive quote from a famous person, it can add emotion and valence to get 10 times more likes, comments, and shares. The more likes, comments, and shares you have, the more people see your posts, the more chance you have of attracting the right kind of customer to you. So here's an example. We took this photo and we posted it on the same Facebook page just 2 weeks apart. The first time we posted it, we had no comments, no quote on the post. And we took the same photo on the same page and we posted a week later and we just added this quote. Whenever we manage to love without expectations, calculations, negotiations, we are indeed in heaven. And when we did so, it got 1,798 likes. With no quote, it only got 27 likes. Okay? So we can dramatically increase the emotion just by adding a quote. In turn, we can also make the emotion much more positive by adding a quote. So the first time we posted this image on our yoga page, we added no comments. Well, we just put in our web URL and that was it, nothing else. And it got 14 likes. We posted the same photo on the same page 1 week later, and all we did was we added this quote. You know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams, by Dr. Seuss. It got 4,485 likes, 163 comments, 476 shares. This is an example of, we did this post, so it's a very positive emotion. It already has a positive valence, and we just added this quote. When you find peace within yourself, you become the kind of person who can live at peace with others. And you can see there, that one reached 300,000 people with no ad spend at all. It got 13,000 likes. It got 216 comments. It got 4,000 shares. No ad at all. So how can you use this practically? You can get your own viral post template. So I went and curated the top posts. I have 4 Facebook pages that have over 2.4 million likes, and I went back and I curated my top most viral posts, and you get to use it. You can download this in a PowerPoint template, and you can click on it and you can change the words. You can add your own quote. It comes with the, you can click on the URL down at the bottom and type in your own URL. Don't use my URL. This isn't about me. This is about you building your business. So when you get the template, double click on the URL, change it from attractcustomersnow.com to your website. All right, so this is about you. These photos, images have, they already come with permission built in. So we found photos that had no requirement to give permission. You already have permission to use these photos, and go in and put in your own quote and your own URL down at the bottom. And so you see you have quite a few different images to choose from that you can go in and play with, and it's totally fun. So your exercise, you'll download my top 50 all-time most viral photos. So you go on our website, www.attractcustomersnow.com/50. So you type in FIFTY, or even if you type in the number 50, they'll both go to the same place. You click here to download now. It'll download a PowerPoint template, and then you can start filling in the blanks and using them right now. Now, a lot of times people ask me, well, this'll cover me for 50 days. Awesome. What do I do after that? Well, you can get more photos. So a couple ways to do it. One way is you can Google royalty-free images, and you can go Google royalty-free nature images, royalty-free inspirational images. Just make sure that they are in fact royalty free. Here's a couple of alternative photo sources that I really like. Just take a screenshot of this so you don't have to frantically write it down. Go to www.canva.com. That's probably one of my favorite places to get photo sources. A lot of the times you can buy a photo there for $1, or they have lots of free ones as well. You can do the same thing on picmonkey.com. They have thousands and thousands of free photos, and then they have lots of photos that you can buy for $1. I love flickr.com. You go to flickr.com/Creative Commons. There are literally 200 million Creative Commons photos there, which means you've already been given permission to share them. You just need to give credit. You need to provide a link to the photographer, and that's it. You can go to wikimedia.org. You can also Google royalty-free nature images, inspirational quote images, inspirational photos, and so on. So here's your 5-minute exercise. Let's do this right now. Number 1, download your 50 killer customizable photo templates. Number 2, Google your inspirational quotes. Number 3, take one quote and make your first inspirational quote. Post it on your Facebook page wall. And then I recommend, and we'll get into this a little bit more later, I recommend you boost the post with $5 or $10 to really supercharge those likes, comments, and shares. Go and do that right now, and we'll see you in the next section.